Welcome to Lesson in Everyday. It is your host, LAT, and I am ending this week on courage. And I was thinking, how am I going to end this session about courage? And so what came to me is, I believe it was year 2014, the end of 2014 or 2015. I had to not only move by faith, but I also have to have spiritual courage. So let me tell you what I am talking about, or share with you my story. So I was praying about some future goals, and part of my future goal was getting my education. And I set school out, I believe, in 2010, 2011. And so I knew it was going to be time for me to go back or return eventually and finish my education. And at the time, around 2014, 2015, I was in a relationship. I was working at a good job, and building my funds, enjoying what I was doing and everything like that. And God spoke to me and said, it's time. And so I had to move a couple of hours away from my familiarity, my support group, move away from family, friends. And so in the area I knew, right? So I'm going to try to make it short, but I want you to get the details. So basically, I was moving because I believe what God told me, right? And I stood on that. And that was where my faith came in, because I said, okay, He put it in me. He led me this way, told me to go this way, and I am going to go. And with me going, I'm going to trust Him along the way, right? I had savings built up, a good amount of savings built up. And so it was in the summer when I moved. It was the end of May. And so I had June and July for the summer before school started, right? And I had my mother to go with me because I had to find a place to stay. So here's the big faith, okay? This is where they say, asking you shall receive, right? I wanted to finish my education. God opened a door for me to be able to do that. And he gave me the dream. He spoke to me. He said, look, this is it. So I moved without a job. I moved into a city hours away from my familiarity, left the job to go jobless, to basically finish my education that God told me I'm going to get my degree. It's going to be time to finish. And so I had spiritual courage. I could have stayed where I was, right? And listened to all of the embarrassment, the talks, the laughs, like, what are you doing? You're moving and you're about to have rent and you're moving away from support group to a job, to be jobless, but you're going to have bills to pay now. And, so it's the little details like that, right? So spiritual courage. I was nervous. I was scared. And, but my faith and my spiritual courage, conquered and overcame, right? The fear, the hesitation, the doubts, the things that, I knew that I was going to worry about. And let me tell you, it was when it was getting close to, I believe, July or mid-July or end of July, I was still nervous. School starts in August. I was still nervous, like no job, right? But I trusted and I still believed. And even though I had a little panic, I had spiritual courage to take that chance, take that leap of faith, risk it all and move, right? So I lived jobless for about, I would say, a full month and a half. And let me tell you, there was not a day I didn't go without eating. There was not a month that I didn't go without rent being paid. There was not a day that I, went without electricity. God took care of everything. And I also had spiritual courage I had to find, I wanted a church home. I wanted to find somewhere I can, belong and get my spiritual cup refilled and be able to, be a part of a community. And through that, and me taking a leap of faith, having spiritual courage to go into, church homes, see what best suits me and best fit my spiritual fitness. I took that leap and I took that chance. I found not one, but two homes, one in my college town and one in my town that I was living in. And I kid you not, you guys, God used people that didn't even know me to deposit in my life, not just financially, but spiritually, and pour in. So I said all that to say is that I believe it was not going to be right for me to talk about courage all this week without sharing with you guys about my personal story. And that's just one major move, one of my first major moves I made in life, and trusting, believing, and having spiritual courage. So I just want to share that with you guys because I believe you guys need a testimony to go with it. So you guys go out, be encouraged. I wanted to share this because it takes courage. You can have fear, but it still takes a lot of courage. Okay, I'm sorry about the break in between, but yeah, so I wanted to leave you guys or end this week with just sharing my personal story because a lot of people won't believe it until they hear it, or a lot of people need to hear not just the encouragement, not just the words of wisdom, not just, the positive feedback. What are you going through? So I'm like, you know what? Let me share some of my story, what I've been through, what the chances I took with, spiritual courage, and not just spiritual courage, just, it was intellectual courage. It was me having to, emotional courage, detaching from what I knew and going all in and being open and vulnerable again to a new community and just taking that whole leap of faith. So hear me when I say it took faith and it took courage, okay? Because faith says you're going to go for something that you do not see, okay? But you're believing for. Courage says there is fear in that leap and in that jump, but I am here with you to give you strength and focus and let you know that you're going to make it. I'm going to give you courage to overcome the challenges of that fear, that anxiety and questions and worry that comes along with it. So again, I end this week with hoping that I said something to encourage you guys and to motivate you guys to find your type of courage, be encouraged. And you have to, some seasons you have to pull for all types of encouragement. All 6 of them I talked about, right? And sometimes you literally just need one. But either way, you stay encouraged and dig deep and believe and trust. Everything is going to work out. Everything is going to work out because every season change. And you hold on to that. And you hold on in the season you're in and don't give up. Stay strong, stay motivated, and, change some habits so that you can stay encouraged. You may have to wake up a little earlier to get that affirmation, read your word, the Bible, and get motivated. You may have to. But either way, stay encouraged and be blessed and have a tremendous, wonderful, wonderful weekend. God bless.